Hey everyone, it's Alexa with the Colby Farms and welcome to my channel. So, we are on part 3 of the beef broth regimen. Yeah, okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go ahead, click the playlist below, go watch the first 2 videos so you know what's going on, okay? You're missing out on a lot of great information, but if you do know what's going on, then you know that it's day 3 for me, but part 3 for you, as to this regimen that we're doing. So when we have those busy weeks, we know exactly what's going on, we know exactly what we're making, and we only need 2 items to do it. So we made our bone broth on the first day, and then we made our roast yesterday, and now today we're gonna make another quick meal. I'm telling you, this is super simple. Now, obviously you're gonna have to add some sides into it. Okay, whatever, that's all right. But you can make quick sides with it. You can make mashed potatoes. I'm making French fries today, and I'm also making my cabbage and carrot salad. It's pretty simple sides. It took me all of like 10-20 minutes to get them all together, threw the fries in the oven. It was pristine, my friends. But today we are going to make barbecue beef sandwiches. Yep, nothing like a good old piece of beef with some barbecue sauce on it, and then throw it on a sandwich. Chef's kiss, right? Okay, all right, and it's a pretty simple meal. It's pretty awesome because you got your roast already made. So remember, we're making enough food for our family for that day. We're also making enough for the next day when we're doing this beef broth regimen, because it just makes our lives a little bit easier. I don't even have to think about what's for dinner. Just boom, boom, bam. So let's get into it real quick. If you already like this content, go ahead and click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And definitely don't forget to hit that little bell so you're notified when I make more videos on how-tos, cook with me, what's for dinner, yeah. All right, we're all gonna hang out together and it's gonna be great. So I got my roast here. I pre-warmed it up a little bit, it's a little steamy. And now I'm just gonna take the roast and I'm gonna pull it apart. So this roast is still pretty tender, which is what I like. Okay, so we got our beef all nice and shredded. Now, it's gonna be an easy part. Since everybody enjoys barbecue sauce in this house, I'm just gonna spread barbecue sauce all around. I'm gonna stir it in, and then we're gonna place it on some bread. Some other tips that you can add to it, you could put some lettuce with the sandwiches, you could put cheese, you could put cabbage, you could do pickled onions if you prefer, you could do some red onions, which I might do some red onions on that today. That sounds really good. So, okay, so now that we got our beef all nice and shredded, I'm just gonna add some barbecue sauce to it. Everybody in the house likes the barbecue beef sandwiches. If your family doesn't like barbecue sauce, you can always put it on the side. I've done that before with guests because I'm not sure if everyone enjoys barbecue. But yeah, so I'll just mix it all in. I'm going to also cut up some red onions, put it on top so you'll see it all put together. All right, so next, since we got our beef all nice and shredded, I'm gonna start preparing the sandwiches. And how I'm going to do that is I'm gonna take the barbecue sauce, I'm gonna pour it all around and mix the beef and the barbecue sauce all together. Everybody in my family enjoys the barbecue beef sandwiches, so I'm not too worried about that. But if you are doing this, let's say for like if you end up making the beef sandwiches for a special occasion, you know, you've got other people coming over, you're having guests, I would just put the barbecue sauce on the side just in case somebody doesn't like barbecue sauce, you know? But yeah, so let's get into it. The amount of barbecue sauce depends on how much your family really likes it. Do they like it really soiled in barbecue sauce, or do they like just a little bit, you know? You could just mix a little bit and then everybody can add more if they prefer. I like to do kind of an in-between. I want it to be, the meat to be obviously fully covered in it, but I also don't want it to be draining. Add a little bit more. Seriously, yes, I know it's not summertime right now, but this gives me all the summer vibes. I'm not even joking. Even though it's just a roast, I'm like, oh my goodness. Especially with the side dishes that we have today, I'm like, bring on the warm weather, right? Okay, so we've got that all assembled. And then I also here, I got a red onion. You do the little pieces, but I like to do slices of onion. Thinly sliced, so. The red onion just gives it this beautiful look, but also this amazing taste. That should be enough for my family. We are an onion family. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. We love our onions. And then next, we're just gonna assemble it all together. Pretty simple, okay? Pretty simple. You can put anything on these barbecue beef sandwiches. You could put cheese, you could put a different sauce like a buffalo sauce. You can put different types of onion. You could throw lettuce on top. You could throw cabbage. You could make a coleslaw to put on top. You could change the sauces out. Whatever you prefer, I'm sure it'll taste amazing. So we're gonna assemble the sandwiches. So these baguettes I made last night to go with this roast, and now I made extra. So now we get to have sandwiches with it. But if you didn't make baguettes like I did, any type of bread, you can buy bread from the store, you can make it at home, you could put it on some bagels, you could put it on just like regular sandwich bread, whatever works. I prefer the baguettes though, I feel like they're the best. Okay, now we're gonna put the onions on top. Get it all nice and pretty. And voila, the main course dinner is served. Main course dinner is served. Ready to go. And look, we even have beef left over for lunch tomorrow. I know my family is a lot smaller compared to others, but just always make enough and always, but make a little bit more just so you have enough for the next day. So we'll have the rest of this beef for lunch tomorrow, which will be perfect. That will help my day out. And go from there. But yeah, so that is how we put together our third dinner for the week. Really simple. There are other options that you can make with a leftover roast, including you can make a beautiful risotto out of the bone broth that you use for the roast, and then you can mix the beef in with the risotto, which is a really good idea. It kind of makes a quote-unquote one-pot meal. Add some veggies to the side. It would be perfect. You could also do einkorn flatbreads. Let me know in the comments below if you would like me to post a recipe for my einkorn flatbreads. It's a really simple recipe that we make very often here, especially on our busy nights. So let me know if you would like me to post a video like that. I usually take the flatbreads, I'll put the beef on top with different types of sauces depending on what I'm feeling that night. Sometimes even barbecue sauce, just make a barbecue beef flatbread, throw it all in the oven, cook it up with some cheese. It's delicious. Also, another thing that we like to do is, does everybody remember those KFC bowls where they were like all in one? This is not KFC, but like they had mashed potatoes, corn, popcorn chicken, gravy. I think there was something else. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. That's what we like to make here. So I'll make a bunch of things. I'll make mashed potatoes, some corn, and then I'll make some gravy with the leftover bone broth I'll make some gravy with the leftover bone broth that's in the roast. And then, you know, if there's leftover carrots and onions, just throw it all on top, mix it up. There you go from there. So, I know some people may not like that. Sorry if you don't. That's just what we do here. So those are other options that you could make with your leftover roast. All right, so as sides with the barbecue beef sandwiches, we made homemade French fries, and how we do that is we chopped up our potatoes, and then the potatoes are really full of water, so I really like to damp those down with a paper towel just to try to soak out as much water as I can while the oven's getting ready. And then I melted some tallow on the stovetop. If I'm using a fat that's not liquefied at room temperature, more so like lard or tallow, I like to melt it down because I really don't like to mess with it when it's in that, I just don't want to get my hands dirty, to be honest with you. Tallow and lard is, I mean, it's a fat, so it's very oily, it gets on your skin and whatnot. So I usually like to just melt it down a little bit. I don't turn it on too high of heat. And then I'll pour a little bit on a cookie sheet with parchment paper on it, lay the potatoes down, and then pour the rest of the tallow on top. Then I'll add my spices of oregano, garlic powder, minced onion, oregano, parsley, and salt, and then I'll mix it all up onto the plate, and then I'll just store it in the oven at 425 for about 40 to 55 minutes. It really just depends. As soon as the fries hit the 30-minute mark, I'm watching them because they can go from very nice to super burnt really quick in the oven. At least that's been the case with me. If you have any tips and tricks, let me know in the comments below. But we really enjoy these French fries. They're really crispy, they taste delicious, and then I will always add more salt on top after. And then for the cabbage and carrot salad, it's literally cabbage cut up, carrots cut up, any type of soft cheese like goat cheese, creme fraiche, feta cheese, blue cheese, whatever I have in the fridge, with some cherries or cranberries, and then my homemade salad dressing. That's super easy. If you would like me to post this recipe, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get that video up here soon. Okay guys, so that's it for dinner tonight. Pretty simple, just like that, all done. Other sides that you can put with the barbecue beef sandwiches, you could do a baked potato. Baked potatoes are super easy. Just throw them in the oven at 350 for about an hour with some aluminum foil up over it, and they'll soften up. Put some sour cream or butter on it, salt and pepper, bam, baked potato. You could do mashed potatoes, you do rice, you could do French fries like we're doing, pasta. I mean, you have like, this is more of like, it's a sandwich and then you got a nice side with it. So you could also do some fried potatoes or scallop potatoes, whatever works for you. There's endless options. Since the bread is a lot, the fries, they're being fried, it's just a lot of food. I like to do something light for the vegetables, so that's why I chose the salad, but obviously you can do whatever works for you. So guys, this was part 3 of the 4-part series of the beef broth regimen. So far we have used 2 main items to create 3 different meals, and tomorrow for me, but next Friday I will be posting the 4th part of this series and the last part of what we're using with all of the leftover bone broth. What are we gonna make? You guess you'll have to find out next week. If you've enjoyed this series so far, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this recipe, if you've made this recipe before, go ahead and comment below as well. I'd love to hear from you guys what you're thinking about all of this. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for stopping by the farm, and we'll see you next time. Bye.